Looking forward to the matchup, two goofy foots that have seen each other for a very long time, sharing the same major sponsor for the majority of their careers. Remember, we talked about the heats in Tahiti being in favor of Medina, but overall matchups is 3 apiece, where you think about Owen taking out Medina in backhand conditions at snapper. When Owen went all the way to beat Wilco, he got past Medina in that quarterfinal, so he understands how to win at different venues around the world, and it's officially on. 40-minute final, and he'll just freestyle all his way through the inside, out the back, and now he's just chasing Owen Wright. Owen saw this one.
Oh, well done.
Beautiful hollow section, and achieves the first wave off Medina, which is a major accomplishment. Clean wrap, nice form through the inside corner, and he'll just stay on his feet. So Owen just probably sat off his mark, maybe on purpose, made that bolt at the last minute to take off with the lead.
And Gabriel started to chase, but he chased that little bit too long and gave him that little bit of distance. And in the end, that potentially is a championship move. Manipulation of the start, letting Medina have the inside without challenge, and almost putting him off guard a little bit, putting him to rest a little bit. And we can see Medina kicking, and he realizes that, he's got that little bit of distance and I can't catch him. Look at Owen's making ground as he paddles across and gets into the perfect position for a great starting tube ride.
One of the best paddlers in the game with a wider wingspan than Michael Phelps. Unable to catch up to Owen Wright, and Owen makes him pay for it. Tubed a couple of turns. Thinking about numbers here, what did he accomplish?
Well, it was beautifully completed. Here's the tube from the water angle. Nice tube, wasn't super long, it wasn't super deep, but by comparison of what we've seen today, it was good. And so for me, and then out into the cutty, and then those last 2 snaps to complete it, to show control, to show that you're under no pressure whatsoever, and that you have just manipulated one of the best manipulators in the game to get a start like that. That was classic Owen Wright. The surfing part of it after the tube was a little just traditional, nothing too spectacular, but he's in the tube again.
Back into a cylinder. Owen Wright traveling for a long time and trying to punch free under priority of Gabriel Medina, still standing by for scores from the start. But now Owen just free to freestyle a little bit under Medina's watch. Amazing ability to rely on his instincts, as we will now see Medina getting started. Throw tail reverse nose pick on the rotation out of it. Winds up again off the bottom. Clean hack right on the open face. Belts it off the coping and sneaks on out of there. Unbelievable start. So radical on that major move, right where he wants to be with 30 minutes to go.
Great comparison now to see where the judges lie. Both guys in the final be able to take the information they get from this situation and structure the back end of this heat. But this was a sloppy, flatter wave, Joey. It didn't have that potential to get tubed, so he knew he had to do something special.
Amazing to throw down the nose pick reverse. What about the tail embio?
Oh, look at that flaring of the tail. This one, bang, whips it out of the tail. Those last 2 turns had some spark in them. The first one, would this be a great angle, Joey?
Love this version of the nose pick. Only a few guys on tour can nail it in competition. This version's incredibly radical.
How they land into the nose and pivot around on the nose. He got stuck in that white water for a little bit, but it didn't stop him. He's still got 3 extra turns after that main turn.
And throwing that new school throw nose pick reverse was incredible. Now he's free to roam. Big wind up off the bottom for Medina. Big hack. Plenty of open face left. He'll jam it real quick. 2-turn combination, and he's out of there.
In that nose pick, there wasn't a lot of height. There was that flaring tail to the beach. You compare the outsides of each ride. Owen's had the tube, and he had that nose pick reverse.
As we see this last decision.
Oh, I love this first turn. Just fully jabbed at the lip, super fast. Not much else there. The face went frothy and whitewater, and he cut out an interesting opening exchange.
Owen with priority, a little bit movement out the back, super deep right, driving down the line. Still gunning for the exit, and that section just shoves him down to the bottom. He's able to get past Teahupo'o earlier this morning, and yet another big final showing at Teahupo'o. Owen's up. Looking to better a 1.17. Big layback blowtail on the first section, but he can't hang on.
And Owen really wanted Gabriel to show a little bit of interest in that way.
We have 17 minutes left of the 40-minute final here for the Tahiti Pro. Owen Wright looking for his first win off Medina at this amazing wave. He's had a couple of big opportunities. Medina's won both of them, including last year's quarterfinal in 2017. While we were away, Medina did use that priority roll, BL.
Yeah, and you can see the effect of that wind Strider was talking about. First turn, not critical, very sort of normal pedestrian type of a turn. It's not the sort of wave he was hoping for. It's not a priority wave, but perhaps with the inconsistency in the way the conditions are, long term it may be, who knows. So it's definitely a second score. It's definitely going to improve on that 2.4 and put some more pressure on Owen Wright.
See that draw off the reef. That's what Owen Wright is inspecting, and now deciding to fall in under the hood on the takeoff. Still holding that strong line, lengthening out the tube time. He'll punch 3 of the whitewater and then sneak out for the completion.
That was one of the oddest tubes you'll ever see because there was so much whitewater and so much going on, but such is that nerve and that focus and that steely desire of Owen Wright that he just kept his line, and whitewater was just bashing him left, right and centre. Somehow he escaped out through that whitewater.
How did he hold a line through this?
You see, he just tucks right in, and at this point I'm going, well, and it just opened up, and somehow he just kept going with it. It was one of the kind of messier, sloppier tubes you'd ever see, but not easy to do. That's super hard to do, to keep that positioning. He wouldn't have been able to see a thing. There was whitewater everywhere. Hair would have been everywhere. But what an amazing tube ride. Where it comes in as a score is a really interesting point. It's hard to know because it wasn't very throaty, wasn't very open. It took a lot of skill and a lot of talent to make that and to pull that off.
Heading to that west part of the reef. Now spinning for it and committing. Looking for a 4.54 deep in the pit. It's already clamping shut. Medina's still trying to push free, but he goes down.
Oh, that was a big mistake.
The importance of that priority roll, as you were just telling us, BL, ends up incomplete.
Create some distance from Owen to create some opportunity without that priority, because we know he's lethal then.
This is the time for the backflip to come into play. Medina now with the wind-up. Big tail-high whip lands on the roof and came very close to a make there. This is where he's free to roam without priority. Like you mentioned, priority, wait for the barrel. Under priority, he can let free a little bit, which is a scary sign for Owen Wright.
He's gone to the inside, and here's exactly one of those little waves.
Man, Gabriel Medina winding up for something big on this size of a wave. He'll need something massive, too deep right on that reef section. There's not much water to really move around and pump and drive on that section. So you see even the tiny waves here in Tahiti are really hard to perform on.
Still time for 2 waves, really, in reality, and here he goes on the first attempt.
Now setting up a fun section for that vertical. Snap straight down to the bottom.
Oh, pressure can do funny things to a man, can't he? Can't it? And right there, that's what we were looking at. That was pressure.
Now Medina paddling with Owen. It's up to Owen if he wants it. Now committing with priority. Right now down to the bottom, all about maneuvers. Big layback gouge on the open face. Big drip to the tail off the roof.
Owen Wright had to take this wave.
And then went to turns on it. He was trying to improve on a 4.2 there. Did he do that?
I think so. They were 2 massive turns. And that drift there. Watch this foam climb. That is determination. The way he pulled that third maneuver out was desperate. Does he improve on the 4.2? Remembering the 4.2 is that chandeliering, sectiony, weird, averagey barrel.
The shallow reef, however, Medina's coming out of the pit behind him. Grab rail, down carb in transition. Already excited to celebrate. He'll miss the finish.
And with 1:20, he can still get back out there and get priority again. Owen Wright had to go that wave. I don't think he could have let him have that first wave of the set, but we've seen all event that the second wave of the set's been where the best ones have been, and he got it.
With that barrel on the wave behind Owen. Owen looked like he did everything right, and then this came behind it.
Look at him, late drop, stalls it, parks it in the tube, great tube. The best tube of the final so far, and going to be most probably the best score of the final so far. Gabriel Medina.
To close this thing out time-wise, and it's going to come down to reviewing the final exchange. These two with a lot of respect for each other. longtime teammates on Rip Curl, two of the best goofy foots going for a prestigious title here at Teahupo'o, Tahiti. Charlie already celebrating as we still wait for the outcome from the judges upstairs.
Well, we saw Julian Wilson steal it from Gabriel Medina last year. Did he just steal it from Owen Wright?
Scores coming in for the combination of maneuvers for Owen Wright. On the last, he did improve to a 5.57. Medina needs at least a 5.91 on his last swing.
Done deal, mate. The trophy's going to Brazil. The event title's going to Brazil for the 7th time this year.
And now it is official. A 7.33. Gabriel Medina takes the win at the Teahupo'o Teahupo'o in 2018. His second title in Tahiti.
Wow.
And the Brazilian storm continues.
Wow.
After 7 events, 6 Brazilian winners. And Medina is fighting for a second world title in a massive way.